My name's Eli Delaney, and I have the honor of meeting some pretty cool people. These are the entrepreneurs, the artists, the creatives, the game changers that are making a positive impact in the people that they meet. And I'm a firm believer that the people that you meet can get you anywhere you want to go. And this show is my way of sharing them with you. It's my way of also helping you be cool people. Let us be grateful for the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. That's a Buddhist saying. And I wanted to share that with you because this is a month of gratitude, of being thankful for things. This is November. I've got even extra things to be grateful for, and I wanted to talk about that in today's show. This is going to be another crossover between the Meet Cool People podcast and Seventhfold. If you're wondering if I've done a gratitude show before, yes, I did on episode 68. Which is crazy to think that that's been like almost 40 episodes ago. This episode is episode 105, and this is going to be going out on my birthday week. So with that said, it's like for me, Thanksgiving or November has some extra meaning to it for various different reasons. And I want to share that with you today and share with you, why gratitude is such a powerful thing. Because I talk about this a lot, but I think it's something that doesn't get talked about enough as a whole. And I want you to put some of these things into perspective on how you can be more intentional about the gratitude that you give to other people and where you can find amazing things in what may be more mundane or even difficult times. Because I can tell you that for me personally, this year has been phenomenal. I have made so much progress in my personal life and in my business life, and I have a lot to be grateful for because of it. And I found one of the biggest things is sticking with that mantra of always showing gratitude for other people. So a couple things going on with me. Number one, again, I already mentioned is my birthday month. So this is going to go live on a Wednesday. My birthday will be on Saturdays. That's November 22nd. If you want to feel me, Dutch Brothers gift cards are always welcome. But this is also, it is Thanksgiving. We're getting close to the end of the year. And, this week I'm actually speaking in Houston for an event, which I'm looking forward to. As of the time that this episode goes live, I'll be driving down to Houston in just a little bit. And so much has happened this year for me to be thankful for that it just blows my mind. And so just so you know, if you are watching the video version, I will be looking down because I have a big list of things I want to make sure I talk about so I don't forget stuff. Normally, I just kind of talk off the cuff of whatever's going on in my mind with very little notes. But this one is kind of important in the fact that I really want to make sure I don't miss anything. So let's talk about gratitude. Let's talk about the difference between surface gratitude and deep appreciation, because I think there is a significant piece of that. Surface gratitude is thanks and walking away. Deep gratitude or deep appreciation is where you stop and acknowledge things and actually intentionally stop and reflect on the thing for a moment. For me, I've got several different things going on. Number one, 2024 was an abysmal year for me. The last several years had been abysmal for various different reasons. Seventhfold came out of the worst time of my life and how I got through it, which started in 2020. As if you've followed me at all, you've heard me say 2020 is when my life fell apart and COVID was the least of my problems. Fast forward several years, I have rebuilt a lot of things. I've rebuilt my confidence. I've rebuilt my speaking career. I've redefined what my business looks like. I have new passions, new things that I'm excited about. And there are certain people, there are things that have happened, and I have to stop and think about these things once in a while, because that's where I stop and go, oh yeah, this triggered this thing, which triggered this thing, which triggered that thing. And it was all a chain of events that caused me to be in a position I am right now where life is doing really good for me. And so that deep appreciation is what really comes into play with this. And this is why this is so important. And people don't give enough time and enough energy to this is actually not just saying, oh yeah, I'm grateful for this, but really going to thinking about what is the thing, what is the chain of events that were triggered by this person or this thing that happened that you're grateful for? Because when you stop and do that, you're much more grateful for it. You're much more thankful for it. You're much more appreciative of it. And so, as an example for me, I'll even call them out. One of the best things that happened with me in the last several years was when I moved here to Dallas, or Dallas Fort Worth. Let's be clear here. A client of mine, Lori, had connected me with Donnie Bolvin, who is the creator of Success Champions Network. And he is here locally. And I ended up getting involved in the organization. And it's been almost 3 years, close to 3 years that I've been part of the group. And I have made some of the best friends. I have gotten great business from it. And not just because I was in the group, but it was the people that I met and who I connected to with it that caused that. And so that's a chain of events that happened because of one client helping me out. It amazes me when you look at that, because everything happens in a chain of events. It's not just one action that makes a difference. And so I want you to stop and think about, what is it that you're grateful for? And sometimes they're what should be the obvious things, like your family. If you followed me at all, you've heard me talk about your write down 5 things you're grateful for every day, first thing in the morning. My parents and my daughter are on that list pretty much every day. I might have one day a week maybe where something else specific happened that week, that takes it gets put on the list faster, but they're always on that list. Okay. But you need to think about the other things that have happened, and think about, okay, if you're grateful for this thing that happened, maybe you just got a new client, or maybe you've got a new project that you're passionate about, you're super excited about. What was the thing that caused that? What was the spark that created that? Because you want to not just be grateful for the thing, but be even more grateful for the thing that caused the thing, if that makes any sense. And when you start paying attention to this and start looking for things to be grateful for, your focus shifts from scarcity of the negative things or the lack of that's going on in your world to the abundant. Because when your brain starts noticing the things that you're grateful for, and you consciously and intentionally start thinking about what are the chain of events that cause that thing to happen. Now you're going to start noticing other things, and your brain is going to get rewired to start thinking about those things. This is your reticular activating system in action. It's a part of your brain that thinks of top of mind awareness. Well, when you make these things top of mind aware, now you're more likely to see things that have been sitting there right in front of you the whole time and you didn't even notice it. And so my challenge with this is stop and actually think of, obviously you've got your list of 5 things you should be doing. If you follow me at all, this is something I've talked about multiple times. Write down 5 things first thing in the morning you're grateful for. But, sit down over lunch and look at those 5 things, and it's like, okay, what are the chain reactions? What are the things that cause those things? And what was the thing that caused that? And what was the thing that caused that? And now you start seeing things in a much deeper, multi-level scenario, which makes you more aware. The other thing is, the more grateful you are of the things around you, the better your attitude is towards them, especially if those things are people, right? So, like for me, I have a client that I'm working with right now, and I am extremely grateful for them. Not just because they pay me well, because that's a big piece of it. I'm not going to lie. I like to get paid. But more importantly, they're so fun to work with. They are so appreciative of me, which goes to a deeper piece of this as well, that I appreciate them even further. And when they're vocal about their appreciation for me and the value that they feel they're getting from the work that we are doing, that makes me want to work harder for them. And so showing gratitude strengthens that relationship, whether it's an employee, a client, a parent, a child, your partner, whoever it is. It creates a stronger community, a stronger loyalty with that person that ends up going both ways. It also, when you show the gratitude more and you have that feeling of gratitude right out of the gate, it reduces the burnout, because we get burned out when we're not feeling appreciated. And if we can't find the good things around us, our brain fries out and has a hard time thinking. I was in that place. And I know people who are. I was just talking to somebody a couple of weeks ago, and they were having a really hard time with the fact that they're struggling right now. And they're struggling because their brain is spinning in the negative stuff, and it's not seeing the positive stuff that's out there in front of them. And, I tried to guide them through that process of how to come out of that, because I know what that was like. It was there. And so if you change these things, what it does is it prevents the burnout, puts you in a right place. You start seeing the right things. And this goes into, again, from a Buddhism background, the Eightfold Path connects to right mindfulness. You got your mind right, the rest of the stuff starts coming into play. Okay? So let's start with that. Now, the next thing is, let's talk about that gratitude creates a compassion, because other people are going to be more compassionate. They're going to be more kind to you when they see that you show appreciation and you thank them. That builds that relationship even further. And when you're doing that, people want to help you. When I see somebody appreciates me and thanks me for something that I did to help them, I feel really good, and I want to do more. I want to do more to help them, and I want to do more to help other people. So that puts me in that mindset of I'm looking for more opportunities to get out there and help more people, because I am grateful for the appreciation. And you think about these things. They're not anything over like crazy, but simple ways that you can show gratitude for other people. Send them a note. I mean, there's a lot of people even do handwritten notes. I'm not doing a lot of handwritten notes these days, but it works. It works really well. But even if you just send somebody, like, one of the biggest things I like to do is I'll send a video. I'll send a video on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever. It's just like, hey, a lot of times I'll do it during the birthday, but a lot of times I'll just send one randomly to somebody and just say, hey, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you. And I want to thank you for everything you've done to help me out, or done everything you've done to help me get in this position, or whatever it is, whatever the thing is, right? Okay. Celebrate other people's wins as well, because this is a big one and a lot of times this doesn't get done enough. When somebody else is having, they get those wins, congratulate them, share it with them, make them feel even better with it. Make them really pay attention to the accomplishment, because that helps feed the positive. And again, once they have that, their appreciation level goes up, which makes them look for more positive stuff. It's a vicious circle, whether it's a good circle or a bad circle. The more you go into the positive, the more positive stuff that happens, the more abundance starts showing up with you. Just give credit to people. One of the biggest things for me, it's a pet peeve of mine, is when people don't give credit to people that they learn stuff from, or people that have helped them. I have a friend here, Cheryl, and she's been on the podcast as well, as a matter of fact, Cheryl Powers. I give her a lot of credit for a lot of the things that have happened that I've gotten to be part of. Like, just on Halloween, I got to moderate a panel for an event of authors and publishers that are helping other people that want to write their books. And Cheryl had invited me into that. And she's invited me to participate in other events in different areas. She's had me speak at a couple of them. And it's been phenomenal for me to be able to do that. Not just because I love doing it, but because when I get people come up to me and say, thank you so much for all the stuff that you shared today, that makes me feel good. And that makes me know that I'm on the right track and things I should be doing. And so those bits of gratitude, and I've shared this with her. I thank her, and I thank her publicly. I thank her in person with other people around, and I happily do that. And I do that probably way more than she wants me to, but I want to give credit for that. And so if you can give credit to somebody for what they have done to help you, do that, because it makes them feel good too. Okay. Learn for everybody in business, learn to follow up with people without selling anything. We're all in business. We need to pay our bills. That's a given. But there are some times where, and I preach this quite a bit on the marketing side of things, when the only time I ever hear from somebody is when they're trying to sell me their stuff. It gets frustrating. I feel used. If they ever just reached out and said, hey, just want to check in, how you been? And started just a basic conversation with me, it'd be a totally different game. I'd probably be more likely to buy what they had even. But a lot of times people forget about that. So make it a point to reach out to your clients, your prospects, your people you network with, and just reach out and say, hey, just want to check in, how you been? What's going on with you? And just ask, just listen. If there's something you can help them with that has nothing to do with your business, then obviously do it, whatever that looks like. But try not to sell all the time, because a lot of people just they feel used. They really do. Okay. And all of this stuff leads back to a couple of really basic things. Obviously, I talk about Bushido and Stoicism and all the fun stuff with the philosophies. Gratitude is emotional intelligence in action. It's so funny. People don't even realize how simple this is by showing gratitude, being thankful for the people around you. People see you as more intelligent. It's the funniest thing, because it doesn't necessarily mean that you really are by any means, but that means you have a higher emotional intelligence. You can help people feel differently, feel better. They know that you appreciate them, so they're going to pay more attention to what you do, what you say, what you even sell. And all it takes is you just showing gratitude. Okay? And the biggest thing with all of this stuff is it creates a ripple effect. I kind of hinted on this earlier. More people that show gratitude, look for the positive, are thankful for what they've got around them. The people, the opportunities, the things, even their pets. The more you can show that gratitude and people can see that gratitude, the more you're going to create loyal advocates that people want to support you. They want to be around you. I've had people come to me and say, hey, Eli, I need you to explain to me what it is you really do, because I'm not quite clear, but I know I want to work with you. And they've become clients because they knew what I did on a general level, but not a real basic level, but not the deep dive that we do. And I had to go into more detail with that. But they knew they wanted to work with me because they trusted me, because they liked the energy that I had. Because when you can show that gratitude, you can show that appreciation for life and all the things around you, you have a different vibe, a different energy, and people are attracted to that. They want to be around that. They want that. And if you can help them get it, that's more power to both of you. That's what you're looking for. So it builds a community. It builds that point where people want to connect with other people and they want to grow with them. Okay. So going back to the quote that I started with here, I was like, I'd like you to sit down, think about, write down the names of 3 people who've been your gardeners this year that have helped you grow, and reach out to them this week. Don't make it about business. Make it about appreciation. Just thank them. Thank them for what they've done for you. Thank them for being who they are. That's it. Don't make it any more complicated than that. And as you're more intentional about this, That's a key. You got to be intentional about this because it will become second habit. But you have to be intentional about it, at least at the beginning, before it becomes a real habit. When that does, it's going to change your perspective. And as we're going into the new year, I would love to see you have a perspective that is totally different than it has been in the past. That you are seeing the positive. You are looking forward the best of the best. You're seeing the opportunities around you that you were missing before. You got a glint in your eye and a smile on your face. And that's what all of this stuff leads to. So as we're in November, this is the month where everybody talks about gratitude and being thankful for things. But being thankful isn't just a once a year thing. You should be thankful and you should have gratitude for the things and the people around you every day. Make it a daily practice. And appreciate what you got. Appreciate the things, the opportunities, and the people that are sitting right in front of you. That's it for today. Get out there, have an amazing week. Happy Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S. I know that's coming in. Like I said, I am running like a madman this year. This month, I'm recording this on the 9th right now. This is going to go out in like a week and a half. I'm trying to do it now because I'm slam-packed busy, and I want to make sure I'm ahead of the game for it. So when you hear this, I'm going to be in the middle of driving for a speaking gig, my birthday coming up, going to Boise for 10 days. I got an outline for a new book that I'm hopefully gonna get a bunch of it written while I'm in Boise. Might even get all of it done. I don't know. We'll see how things go. I have so much to be grateful for. I've got amazing clients. I've got amazing friends. I've mentioned this multiple times. If you've listened to the show, you've heard a lot of people that are on this show that were either in Success Champions or we met because of somebody in Success Champions. This is an organization that I've been part of, and I bring it up a lot because I have a lot to be thankful for with them. That organization has just put me in the room with the right people that have become amazing friends. I call it my second family, and they're phenomenal. So get in the rooms with the right people. Get around the right people, the people that encourage you, the people that are there for you to help pick you up when you fall down. But always stay in gratitude. You go back to that same exercise. I talked about it before. I'm pretty sure I talked about it on that other episode. Again, that is episode 68. I talk about that every morning when you start your day. Write 5 things you are grateful for. Not 3, not 1, 5, because that makes you think a little bit. And this week, I challenge you to write down those 3 people that have been an influence for you in this last year, that have helped you out. And go thank them. Reach out to them this week and thank them. With that said, I'm also very grateful, and I appreciate each and every one of you that listens to the show. I always appreciate that. Thank you very much. Get out there. Have an amazing week. If there's anything I can do to help you out, reach out and let me know. Take care.
And that wraps up another Meet Cool People show. Now, if you like what you heard, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, or review so I can help introduce these amazing cool people to even more amazing cool people. And just remember, meeting cool people is just the beginning. You need to have a system in place to follow up with the amazing people that you meet. This is exactly what we do for our clients. Now, if you'd like to see if my team and I can help you, go to convertmoreclientsnow.com and check out the case study video to see exactly how we're helping our clients turn casual connections into cash clients for life. Again, go to convertmoreclientsnow.com and see how we can work together to turn you into a follow-up rock star.